The wine glasses glimmered under the chandeliers, laughter swelling like music I didn't belong to. My sister Vanessa waved at me from across the table, a table already full, then pointed to a lonely chair in the corner. "You can sit over there," she said, smiling like she was doing me a favor. Her husband Troy chuckled. That sound, soft, cruel, told me everything. I wasn't there to be loved. I was there to play a part. I sat down, my heart tight but my face calm. The conversation swirled around expensive vacations, new cars, and $200 wine. I ordered a salad and water. Vanessa's eyes glinted. "That's all? Come on, Jenna, live a little." "I'm fine," I murmured. But inside I was trembling with an old familiar shame. For years, I'd tried to fit into her glossy world, the one she built out of filters and lies. The one where she was a queen, and I was the maid who forgot her place. She'd always been our parents' favorite, beautiful, loud, dazzling. I'd been the quiet one who worked hard, studied harder, and learned to survive without applause. I thought adulthood would change that. It didn't, even when she borrowed money, first a few hundred, then a few thousand. She still found ways to make me feel small. Each time I lent her money, she promised to pay me back. Each time she didn't. But what stung most wasn't the debt. It was how she looked at me afterward, like I should be grateful to help her. And yet, when she invited me tonight, saying she wanted to celebrate sisterhood, I believed her. I thought maybe, just maybe, she meant it. Now, watching her raise her champagne glass and brag about her private villa in the Caribbean, I understood the truth. This was never a celebration. This was theater, and I was the prop she needed to make herself shine brighter. I checked my phone under the table, one unread message from work, nothing urgent. I wished I were there instead, in the calm order of my clinic, where healing meant something. Here, every smile was an act. When dessert arrived, a chocolate soufflé the size of my head, Vanessa's laughter grew shrill. The waiter placed the check in the center of the table, bowing slightly. Silence followed. Everyone looked anywhere but at the bill. Vanessa picked it up, scanned the total, and exhaled dramatically. $1,800, she announced. Well, that's what happens when you celebrate properly. Her friends glanced at each other, expecting her and Troy to handle it. But Vanessa's smile twitched, her eyes sliding toward me. "Jenna," she said sweetly, "why don't you take care of this?" "You've been so generous lately," the world froze. I looked at her, then at the bill, then back again. My pulse steadied, slow and cold. This was the real reason she'd invited me. The humiliation wasn't an accident. It was the plan. I picked up the leather folder, opened it, and stared at the number. 1,800, then I smiled, calm, deliberate. Not my problem. I placed the check back down, stood, and slung my purse over my shoulder. Gasps rippled around the table. Vanessa's voice cracked behind me. "Jenna, get back here!" "You can't just," but I could, and I did. Outside, the night air was cold and freeing. For the first time in years, I felt taller. The laughter inside faded behind glass walls. My phone buzzed, Vanessa's name flashing, over and over, but I didn't answer. Under the neon glow of the restaurant sign, I finally understood something simple, brutal, and liberating. You don't owe respect to people who live off your silence. Vanessa won't let this humiliation go. What happens when family pride turns into revenge, and the truth finally costs more than money? The next morning, my phone looked like it had been set on fire. 32 missed calls, 17 voicemails, half of them from Vanessa, the rest from Mom. I sat at the edge of my bed, sunlight sliding across the hardwood floor. listening to the familiar tremor in Mom's voice on the voicemail. "Jenna, what on earth were you thinking? Vanessa said you embarrassed her in front of everyone. How could you walk out like that?" I deleted it. Then another. Then another. Finally, I called back. "Mom," I said, my voice already tired. "Did she tell you why I walked out?" "She said it was a family dinner and you offered to pay." "She's devastated," I laughed bitterly. "Offered?" "She stuck me with an $1,800 bill, Mom. I never offered anything." A pause. Then softly, almost bored, "Well, she's your sister. You should help her when she needs it." There it was again. That word should. It had shadowed me my entire life. I should understand. I should forgive. I should let Vanessa have her way because she's fragile, beautiful, special. I hung up before Mom could sigh her way into another guilt trip. That afternoon, I threw myself into work. At least there, my effort meant something. My patients smiled when they saw progress. Their gratitude was real. No manipulation, no games. Still, between sessions, my mind replayed last night. Vanessa's smirk, Troy's snicker, the look of disbelief when I stood up and walked away. By evening, another message from Vanessa blinked on my screen. "Jenna, I'm sorry about last night. Can we talk? I need to explain." I stared at it, then typed back. "Coffee. Tomorrow, noon. 5th Street Cafe." The next day she arrived looking polished, as if she'd stepped straight out of one of her filtered photos. Designer coat, manicured nails, not a trace of remorse. She smiled, a performance, not an apology. "Hi," she said, sliding into the seat across from me. "Hi." "I know you're mad," she started, clasping her hands. "And you have every right to be. I didn't mean for things to go the way they did. I just thought it would be nice to have everyone together, and then the bill came and I panicked." I sipped my coffee. "You didn't panic. You planned it." Her eyes flickered just for a moment. "I was hoping you'd help. You've been so generous before." "You mean naive?" Her voice sharpened. "You don't understand, Jenna. Things have been hard. We're drowning in debt. Troy lost his job. I just wanted one nice night. Something that made us feel normal again." I leaned forward. "You don't fix your problems by creating new ones. You don't lie to the person who's been helping you." Her mask cracked, just slightly. "You think I wanted to live like this? The trips, the clothes, all of it, it's fake. We've been living on credit cards. Everything's collapsing. It should have made me feel pity, but all I felt was the sting of every time she'd made me feel less." "You could have told me the truth," I said quietly. "I was ashamed," she whispered. "No, you were proud." She looked away. "What do you want me to do?" I pulled out my phone, scrolled through the messages, and placed it on the table between us. The evidence. Every transfer. Every, "I'll pay you back soon." "You owe me $4,000, I said evenly. 2 weeks. Pay me back or I'll file a claim." Her jaw dropped. "You wouldn't." "Try me." I stood, tossed a few bills for my coffee on the table, and walked out before she could say another word. My hands trembled as I stepped into the cold, but not from fear, from the strange power of saying no for the first time in my life. That night, I wrote down the exact date and time. 2 weeks. If she didn't pay, I was done being quiet. 2 weeks pass. Vanessa disappears, until one message brings her back, looking nothing like the sister Jenna once knew. 2 weeks came and went. No message. No payment. Not even a fake apology. Every morning, I'd check my bank account before work. The same empty balance, the same hollow space where trust used to live. Somewhere deep down, I knew Vanessa wouldn't pay. Still, the silence hurt more than the debt itself. On the 15th day, her name flashed on my phone. Can we meet? I have something to tell you. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. We met at a small park near my apartment. Neutral ground, open air, no audience for her performance. Vanessa was already there, sitting on a bench, hunched over like someone twice her age. Her hair was unbrushed, makeup gone, designer coat replaced by a plain sweater. For the first time, she looked human. "Thanks for coming," she murmured as I sat down. "Do you have my money?" I asked. She shook her head. "No, but I need to explain." I crossed my arms. "Go ahead." Her lips trembled. "Troy left me," I blinked. "What? 3 days ago?" He said he couldn't do it anymore. The debt, the pretending, all of it. He packed up and left. I have nothing, Jenna. Nothing. For a second, I felt a flicker of sympathy. But then I remembered every lie. Every time she'd laughed at me for being practical. "That doesn't change the fact that you owe me money," I said quietly. She looked up, eyes red and wet. "I know, but I don't have it. The credit cards are maxed, the bank accounts are empty, and the few things I have left aren't worth anything. The bags, the shoes, they're knockoffs. All of it." I stared at her, stunned. "You mean you've been pretending this entire time?" She nodded, her voice cracking. "We wanted to look successful, to feel like we mattered. But it all fell apart. Please, I just need more time." I stood slowly. "You've had time. You've had every chance to do the right thing. But you chose to use me instead." Her face twisted. "You'd really take your own sister to court?" "You stopped being my sister when you turned me into your safety net." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Please, Jenna, don't. I'm begging you." I turned away. "You destroyed your own life, Vanessa. I'm done letting you drag me into it." She collapsed onto the bench, sobbing as I walked away. My chest ached, but my steps didn't falter. That night, I emailed a lawyer. I attached every screenshot, every transfer, every false promise. He replied within an hour. "You have a strong case. File immediately." So I did. 3 weeks later, a notice was sent to Vanessa's address. She didn't reply. But my mother did. "Jenna," she hissed through the phone, "you're taking your sister to court." "Have you lost your mind?" "She owes me $4,000, Mom. She's struggling. She's getting divorced. She's family. I've been understanding for years. I'm done." "You're being selfish." The word hit like a slap. Selfish for expecting repayment. Selfish for setting boundaries. Selfish for not allowing myself to be used. I ended the call and sat on the floor, my back against the couch. For the first time in my life, my family's approval didn't matter. That night, I wrote a note in my journal. Kindness without limits becomes weakness. The court date was set. Vanessa didn't show up to mediation. My lawyer said that was a good sign. She was panicking. I should have felt victorious. Instead, I just felt tired. Then, one evening, an anonymous email arrived. Subject line: "You need to see this." I hesitated, then clicked. It opened to Vanessa's social media post. A long, self-pitying paragraph about how her own sister betrayed her in her darkest hour. A week before the court date, my phone rang with an unknown number. I almost ignored it, until something inside me whispered, "Answer." "Hello?" "Hi, is this Jenna?" "Yes, who's this?" "My name's Claire. I'm Troy's sister. We've never met, but we need to talk. It's about Vanessa." My heart tightened. "What about her?" "I'd rather not say this over the phone." "Can we meet?" We met the next afternoon at a quiet diner on the edge of town. Claire looked nothing like Troy. Firm handshake, clear eyes, no pretense. She ordered black coffee, then leaned forward. "I know you're suing Vanessa." "Good. You should be. But before you go to court, you need to see this." She slid her phone across the table. On the screen were messages, hundreds of them, between Vanessa and Troy. My breath caught as I read. Jenna's so easy to guilt. Just play the family card, she'll give us whatever we ask. We should milk this as long as we can. She won't say no? Every word burned into me like acid. It wasn't desperation. It wasn't bad luck. It was planned. Why are you showing me this? I asked, my voice shaking. Because Troy finally admitted it, Claire said. He's a fool, but he's not evil. Vanessa manipulated him as much as she manipulated you. When he finally left her, she told everyone he was abusive. She ruined his reputation. He's staying with me now, trying to fix his life. But she's beyond redemption, I swallowed hard. Can I have copies? I already sent them to your email. You deserve justice, Jenna. She's been hurting people for years. End it. When Claire left, I just sat there staring at the phone, trembling. Not with fear, with clarity. Vanessa hadn't been my sister for a long time. She'd been my predator. That night, I forwarded the messages to my lawyer. He called immediately. This changes everything, he said. This isn't just unpaid debt. This is fraud. Intentional, documented fraud. We'll add it to the case. The morning of the court hearing felt unreal. I dressed simply, neat blouse, black slacks, hair tied back, calm, controlled, ready. Vanessa arrived late, wearing an expensive blazer and dark sunglasses like she was shielding herself from the truth. She didn't look at me. Inside the courtroom, time slowed. The judge reviewed our statements, eyes sharp behind her glasses. My lawyer spoke first, presenting every transaction, every promise, every text, and then the messages Claire had provided. Vanessa's head dropped as the judge read them aloud. The courtroom was silent except for the sound of paper turning. This isn't miscommunication, the judge said flatly. This is premeditated deceit. Vanessa's lawyer stammered something about emotional stress, but the judge raised a hand. I've heard enough. Her voice was calm but cold as ice. You will repay your sister in full, $4,000 plus interest and court costs, within 90 days. Failure to do so will result in wage garnishment and additional penalties. Vanessa's breath hitched. Her lawyer whispered frantically, but it was over. The gavel came down like thunder. As I walked out of that courthouse, sunlight hit my face. Bright, blinding, pure. My lawyer shook my hand. You handled this with grace, he said. You didn't fight dirty. You just told the truth, I smiled faintly. The truth was enough. That evening I sat in my apartment, lights off, phone then answered. Hello? Hi, is this Jenna? A young, shaky voice. Yes, who is this? My name's Ashley. I was Troy's girlfriend. Every muscle in my body tensed. Okay. I need to talk to you about Vanessa. Those words hit like ice water. We met the next day at a coffee shop. Ashley looked nervous, mid-20s, kind eyes, exhausted expression. She stirred her tea without drinking it. Thank you for meeting me, she said. I know it's weird, but Vanessa's doing it again. Doing what? She and Troy are back together. And they're scamming people. I lent him money thinking it was for rent. Then I found messages. Vanessa was involved. I started looking deeper, and I found other women too. All with the same story. The old ache returned, disbelief turning into anger, then cold resolve. Ashley slid her phone across the table. I read message after message. The same lines, the same tactics, just different victims. Promises, excuses, guilt. She hasn't changed, I whispered. No, Ashley said, but maybe this time we can stop her. We did more than that. Over the next 2 weeks, Ashley and I tracked down 3 other women who'd been conned by Vanessa. One lent money for fake medical bills, another for car repairs, another for a non-existent dog surgery. Each story echoed my own. Kindness exploited, trust shattered, silence forced. But this time, none of us stayed silent. We gathered every screenshot, every bank statement, every "I'll pay you back soon" lie. Then together, we met with my lawyer, the same one who'd helped me months ago. He studied the evidence, then looked up, eyes hard. "This isn't small claims anymore. This is criminal. File a report." We did, and this time I didn't hesitate. Detective Hernandez took our statements. She was steady, methodical, and relentless. "You've done most of the work for us," she said. "We'll take it from here." Weeks later, the investigation confirmed everything: the pattern, the fraud, the manipulation. Vanessa and Troy had conned multiple people over 2 years, using the same emotional bait: pity, charm, guilt. One night, Vanessa called me. Her number flashed like a ghost I'd already buried. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Jenna," her voice trembled. "You have to stop this. They're saying I could go to jail." "You can thank yourself for that. Please," she begged. "I made mistakes, but this will destroy me." "You destroyed yourself," I said quietly, "and everyone who trusted you." There was silence. Then, in a voice so small I almost missed it, "You were supposed to protect me. You're my sister." "No, Vanessa," I said. "Sisters don't use each other. They don't break each other to feel powerful." I hung up. 2 weeks later, the case went to trial. I watched her in court again, but this time she didn't hide behind sunglasses or charm. She looked pale, small, like a shadow of the woman she used to pretend to be. Troy sat beside her, hollow and defeated. The jury didn't need long. Guilty on multiple counts of fraud. 18 months in prison. Restitution to every victim. When the verdict was read, Vanessa looked at me. Her eyes were wet, pleading, but I felt nothing. Not hatred, not triumph. Just release. Outside the courthouse, Ashley hugged me, tears in her eyes. "We did it," she whispered. "No," I said softly. "We healed." Because this wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about ending a cycle, the kind that keeps good people quiet and broken. Months passed. Vanessa went to prison. The other women rebuilt. Ashley started therapy. I kept working, teaching, loving quietly. My parents never apologized, but I no longer needed them to. One evening, standing on my balcony as the city lights flickered below, I realized something simple but powerful.